Look, too many of you walk through life with your heads down, your shoulders heavy with doubt, acting like you're less than what you are. That stops now. You must stop underestimating yourself because they told me I was too small, too foreign, too different to ever make it. But I didn't listen because I knew something they didn't. I am not limited by their beliefs. I am only limited by mine. And you, listening right now, you're not weak. You've just been lying to yourself. You've forgotten who you are. It's time to remember. Time to unleash what's already inside you. And I'm here to show you how. Don't underestimate yourself. Let's begin. 1. Know your own power. You are not weak. You have never been weak. But the world, through its noise, its doubt, and its judgment, has slowly convinced you to forget the strength that already lives inside you. From the moment you were born, you carried potential, raw, untapped, powerful. But over time, people told you what you couldn't do. They pointed out your flaws. They made you question your worth. And slowly, that powerful voice within you, the one that once believed, once dreamed, once dared, started to go quiet. Now listen to me. The enemy is not some person outside of you. It's not your past. It's not your failures. The real enemy is the voice inside your mind that says, I can't. That voice, that's not you. That's fear dressed as reason. That's insecurity pretending to protect you. But you must not listen to it. You must confront it, break it, burn it down. Because if you allow that voice to speak too long, it becomes your reality. What you believe about yourself shapes everything. Your choices, your actions, your energy. If you believe you are powerless, you will live a powerless life. But if you choose to believe, even a little, that you are capable of greatness, that belief becomes the foundation for everything you will build. When I was younger, people looked at me and saw someone too small, too thin, too foreign to ever become anything important. They laughed. They dismissed me. But I never let their voices drown out my own. I never saw myself as small. Why? Because I had already met my power. I had already looked it in the eye, and I trusted it. The truth is, you don't need the world to validate you. You need to validate yourself. Stop waiting for permission to be powerful. Stop waiting to feel ready. Power doesn't come from outside applause. It comes from inner conviction, and that conviction begins the moment you choose to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. You have more strength in you than you've ever dared to admit. It's time to remember it. It's time to claim it. Know your own power, because no one else can do that for you. 2, be like water. Too many of you try to force your way through life, stiff, rigid, desperate to control every outcome. But life doesn't respond to force. It responds to flow. If there is one thing I learned that changed everything for me, it is this: be like water. Water has no shape, yet it can take the shape of anything. It doesn't fight, it adapts. It doesn't shout, it moves in silence. But don't mistake that silence for weakness. Water is soft, yes, but it can wear down rock, it can crash, it can flood, it can reshape mountains over time. When you underestimate yourself, it's because you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to fit into other people's boxes, meet their expectations, follow their path. But water doesn't follow anyone, it finds its own way, and so must you. To be like water means to let go of resistance, let go of the need to control everything. Life will throw obstacles in your path. You can either hit them and break, or flow around them and continue. When I was in movies, in martial arts, in philosophy, people tried to categorize me. Chinese, martial artist, actor, philosopher. But I never stayed in one box. I flowed into all of them because I knew I wasn't meant to be one thing. Neither are you. You must become flexible in mind, in body, and in spirit. The rigid tree snaps in the storm, but the bamboo, flexible, grounded, fluid, bends and survives. So ask yourself, where are you holding on too tightly? Where are you resisting the flow of your life? The job that doesn't serve you? The fear that keeps you frozen? The opinions of others that control your decisions? Let all of that go. You are not here to force life into your plan. You are here to become so fluid, so adaptable that no situation can trap you, no setback can break you. Be like water, my friend, not just in your movements, but in your mindset. Quiet, strong, ever-flowing, always becoming. And when you live like that, nothing can stop you. 3, train your mind to obey you. Let me be very clear. If you do not control your mind, it will control you. And if your mind controls you, then fear, doubt, anger, and insecurity will run your life. Your mind is like a wild horse. Powerful, but untamed, it will throw you off every time you try to ride it toward your goals. That's why discipline isn't optional, it's essential. You must train your mind the same way a warrior trains his body, with purpose, with repetition, and with absolute focus. Most people go through life as prisoners of their own thoughts. They hear a negative voice in their head, and they believe it. I'm not good enough. I'll probably fail. What if they laugh at me? But tell me, why would you trust a voice that only brings you pain? That voice is not truth. It's habit. It's programming. It's the leftovers from other people's fears and judgments. And it's time you stop listening to it like it's your master. When I trained in martial arts, I didn't just train my body. I trained my attention, my awareness, my ability to focus, even in the middle of chaos. Because in combat, if your mind wavers, even for a second, you lose. Life is no different. You must become the master of your own thoughts. That means when fear shows up, you don't run, you question it. When doubt whispers in your ear, you challenge it. When your mind says, you can't, you respond with, watch me. Your mind is not your enemy, but it can become one if you let it go unchecked. Like a sword, it can defend or destroy depending on who is holding the handle, and that handle must always stay in your hands. So how do you train your mind? You practice silence. You develop self-awareness. You feed it with strong beliefs and empowering thoughts. You stop scrolling, stop comparing, stop complaining, and start commanding. Every day, choose thoughts that build you up, not tear you down. Speak to yourself with strength, with clarity, with respect. Because here's the truth, a disciplined mind is a free mind. And once your mind obeys you, no obstacle, no person, and no circumstance will ever have power over you again. 4, fail forward, never freeze. Failure. It's the one word most people are terrified of. But let me tell you something, failure is not your enemy. Standing still is. Too many people fail once, then stop. They fall down and stay there. They miss one shot and decide they're not meant for greatness. But that's not how warriors are made. That's not how real growth happens. You must understand this. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every mistake, every rejection, every fall is an invitation to rise stronger, to learn something new, to sharpen your weapon. When I first came to America, I struggled. People didn't understand me. They mocked my accent. I was rejected from roles, overlooked by studios, told I'd never be accepted in the West. I could have quit. I could have said, maybe they're right. But I didn't. I used every no as fuel. I let failure teach me, but never define me. And you must do the same. Fail forward. That means when you fall, fall with purpose, fall with awareness. Don't freeze. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect you. That moment will never come. There is only now. There is only movement. You grow by doing, by trying, by stepping into the unknown even when your legs shake. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action in spite of it. If you freeze, you lose momentum. You get stuck in your head, and the longer you stay stuck, the louder your inner critic becomes. That voice will say, "You're not good enough. Don't even try." But remember this, the mind only becomes your enemy when you stand still. Once you move, once you act, it follows your lead. So take the shot, even if you miss. Speak the truth, even if your voice trembles. Start, even if you're unsure. Because every time you move, you build strength. You build clarity. You build the warrior spirit inside you. And don't just learn from your failures. Own them. Study them. They are maps showing you what to improve, what to change, what to let go of. Every scar carries a lesson, and every lesson makes you more dangerous in the best way. You want to be powerful? Then stop fearing failure. Fear regret. Fear the life you'll never live because you chose comfort over courage. Stand up, move forward, and if you fall, fall like a warrior. Fall forward, always. 5. Don't live by comparison. One of the most destructive habits you can fall into is comparing yourself to others. It may seem harmless at first, looking at someone else's success, their body, their talent, their life, and wondering why you're not there yet. But I tell you this plainly, comparison is a poison. It slowly kills your confidence, clouds your vision, and steals your joy. You were not put on this earth to become a copy of someone else. You were created to be fully, unapologetically yourself. When I was coming up in the world, both in martial arts and in film, people constantly tried to compare me. He's not as big as that fighter. He doesn't speak English like the other actors. He doesn't fit the mold. I heard it all, but I didn't care. Why? Because I never measured my worth against anyone else. I never wanted to be the next anyone. I wanted to be the first Bruce Lee. And you must do the same. When you compare yourself to others, you forget your own journey. You ignore your own progress. You blind yourself to your own uniqueness. You start to believe you're behind when really you're just on a different path. And that path is not wrong. It's yours. Comparison turns your gifts into burdens. It makes your strengths feel small. It tricks you into thinking you're failing when you might be blooming in a way no one else can see yet. Look around you. No two trees grow the same way. Some rise tall quickly. Others take time to root themselves deep. But each one becomes strong in its own season. You are no different. You must learn to respect your own process, celebrate your own pace, honor the way your life is unfolding, because the truth is, you cannot be someone else, and you were never meant to be. You don't know what someone else had to sacrifice to get what they have. You don't know the struggles behind their smile, the pain behind their progress. And even if you did, you still wouldn't want their path. It wasn't built for you. What's meant for you will never require you to become someone you're not. It will require you to become more of who you already are. And that journey begins the moment you stop looking sideways and start looking inward. So stop scrolling through someone else's life and feeling behind. Stop measuring your self-worth by likes, followers, money, or applause. None of that defines you. What defines you is how you think, how you move, how you grow when no one is watching. What defines you is your discipline, your effort, your vision, and your refusal to quit. Don't compare, create, don't imitate, innovate, don't follow, lead from within. The moment you stop trying to become someone else is the moment you begin to truly become yourself. And that is the greatest power of all. 6. Your body is a reflection of your mind. Your body is not just a machine that moves. It is a mirror of your thoughts, your discipline, your beliefs, your self-respect. Whatever is happening inside your mind will always show up in your body. That's why I say to master your body, you must first master your mind. But also, to strengthen your mind, you must train your body. The two are not separate. They are one. When I trained, it wasn't just to look strong, it was to become strong in every sense. When I pushed through pain, I learned to push through fear. When I disciplined my body, I disciplined my thoughts. Every punch I threw, every hour I practiced, I was not just building muscles, I was building character, I was programming focus, I was carving my identity. You see, your body listens to the story you tell yourself. If your mind is filled with weakness, your body will move with hesitation. If your mind is filled with chaos, your body will lack direction. But when your mind is sharp, clear, and focused, your body becomes a powerful weapon. Think about this. When you are lazy, unmotivated, careless with your health, it's not just physical neglect, it's a reflection of your inner state. Maybe it's a lack of purpose, maybe it's hidden anger, maybe it's self-doubt, but whatever it is, it shows your posture, your energy, your breath, everything speaks. You cannot lie to your body. You can't pretend to be confident when your spine is slouched and your eyes are dim. Confidence begins with how you stand, how you walk, how you breathe. You must carry yourself with strength because that physical expression shapes how your mind thinks and how others see you. When I trained my body, I wasn't chasing perfection. I was chasing precision, control, self-respect. The kind of discipline that makes you walk into any room and not feel less than anyone. Because you know you've earned your strength. You've faced your pain. You've embraced discomfort. The gym, the dojo, the street, it doesn't matter where. What matters is how you show up. Show up with intention. Train with focus. Move with purpose. Because the habits you build in your physical training will spill into everything else. Your relationships, your work, your discipline, your leadership. And understand this. Your body is your responsibility. No one else will carry it for you. No one else will breathe for you, move for you, live for you. This body is your vessel, and the way you treat it sends a message to the world about how seriously you take your life. So if your life feels out of control, don't wait for motivation. Start moving, clean your diet, go for a walk, stretch, hit the bag, sweat, because with every action, you take your power back. You silence the noise, you quiet the fear, you become more than the stories you've been told. And slowly, step by step, you become unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Your body is your ally, but only if you treat it like one. Train it, respect it, master it, because the more control you have over yourself, the less control the world will ever have over you. 7, your limits only exist in your mind. Let me tell you something that most people never realize. The biggest prison you will ever live in is the one you build in your own mind. The truth is, your limits are not physical. They are not in your body or in your circumstances or in your background. They are in your beliefs, in the invisible walls you've accepted without even questioning them. The moment you say, I can't, you are placing a wall in front of yourself, and that wall didn't come from reality. It came from fear. From the outside, people saw me and said I was limited, too short, too foreign, too different. They said I wouldn't make it in Hollywood. They said I wouldn't be accepted in Western cinema. They said I'd be held back by my accent, my heritage, my style. But I didn't listen. Because I knew something they didn't. Those were their limits, not mine. You see, most people live inside a box that was built for them. A box shaped by other people's expectations, fears, opinions, and failures. And they grow up inside it, thinking it's reality, thinking it's truth, but it's not. It's just a story that can be rewritten at any moment you decide. I never accepted the box. I shattered it. If you believe you can only go so far, you'll never push beyond it. But if you start to question those beliefs, if you begin to test them, push against them, lean into the discomfort, you'll discover something life-changing. You are capable of far more than you've ever been told. Think of your potential like a flame. If you protect it too much, keep it small, safe, and hidden, it will never grow. But if you feed it with action, challenge, effort, and belief, it will rise. It will burn brighter than you ever imagined. That fire, that's your spirit, that's your truth. When you train, don't ask, how strong am I? Ask, how much stronger can I become? When you fail, don't say, I'm not good enough. Say, what can I learn from this? When you're afraid, don't freeze. Lean in, face it, because the edge of fear is where your freedom begins. The problem is, most people stop when it gets uncomfortable. They hit the plateau, the point where progress feels hard, and they quit. But I tell you now, that plateau is not the end. It's the beginning of your transformation. I once said, there are no limits, there are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. That is the path of the warrior. That is the mindset of someone who refuses to accept average. So how do you go beyond your limits? You start by believing there is more inside you, then you prove it step by step. You get up earlier, train harder, study deeper, move with more focus, speak with more honesty, live with more intensity. You push yourself not to impress others, but to meet the strongest version of yourself. Because when you finally meet that version, you'll realize the old you was only a shadow, a fraction, a whisper of what you were truly capable of. Break the mental chains, burn the false stories, and remind yourself every single day, my limits are not real. They are illusions, and I have come to destroy them. This is your time. This is your fight. And if you dare to believe, truly believe, you'll become something even fear can't touch. 8. Master yourself or be mastered by everything. The world is loud. It pulls you in every direction. Expectations, distractions, opinions, pressure. Every day, something out there is trying to control your time, your energy, your attention, your life. But let me tell you something most people never hear. If you do not master yourself, you will be mastered by everything else. You become a slave to the world when you are not rooted within yourself, when your mind is scattered, when your emotions rule you, when you chase everything except your own purpose. Mastery doesn't begin with others, it begins within. Before you can lead, you must learn to lead yourself. I see people chasing success, status, attention, but they haven't even conquered their own mind. They haven't faced their own weaknesses. They don't even know who they are beneath the masks they wear for the world. That's not mastery, that's chaos dressed in ambition. Understand this. Discipline is freedom, self-control is power, stillness is strength, and self-awareness, truly knowing who you are and what you stand for, is the foundation of everything you're looking for. When I trained, it was not just physical, it was mental, emotional, spiritual. I wasn't just developing my technique, I was refining my character. Because I knew, if I could not govern my reactions, I would be owned by them. If I couldn't control my thoughts, they would control me. That's the first battlefield, not the ring, not the screen, the mind. You must become the master of your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding them, by observing your anger before it explodes, by noticing your fear before it paralyzes you, by feeling your insecurities without letting them make your decisions. The person who yells when criticized has not mastered themselves. The person who scrolls for hours, avoiding their goals, has not mastered themselves. The person who constantly seeks approval has not mastered themselves. Look closely at your habits, your impulses, your patterns. Are they helping you or ruling you? When you react without awareness, you become predictable. And when you are predictable, you are vulnerable. The world knows how to manipulate you. Advertisements, media, peer pressure, these things pull your strings because you haven't yet cut them. True power is not about domination over others. It's about not being dominated by anything, especially your lower self. Mastery is not perfection. It's not becoming some cold, emotionless machine. No, true mastery is feeling everything, but choosing your response with clarity. It's standing firm when everything is pushing against you. It's staying grounded in chaos. It's being able to walk away from temptation, to say no when it matters, to stay calm when others panic. You see, the world will always throw storms at you, but if you've built yourself with intention, if you've trained your mind, your body, your spirit, then you become the storm. You move with purpose. You speak with conviction. You act without hesitation. Because you've done the work, you've earned the right to trust yourself. The path to mastery is built daily, in the quiet choices, in the uncomfortable moments, when you wake up early to train, when you hold your tongue in anger, when you choose focus over distraction, when you move toward your fears instead of running from them. Most people avoid these things. That's why most people remain stuck. But you, if you're listening to this, I believe there's something different in you. A fire, a hunger, a voice that refuses to stay quiet. Fan that fire. Feed it with discipline, protect it with solitude, sharpen it with truth. Because if you master yourself, there is nothing, no person, no failure, no fear that can ever own you again. You become unshakable, you become unstoppable, you become free. And that, my friend, is the highest form of power there is. Now ask yourself, are you ready to lead your life or be led by everything else? The choice is yours, always has been. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is the one within. It's not against another person. It's not against the world. It's against your own doubt, your own fear, your own hesitation. Every lesson I've shared with you, every word, every truth, it all comes down to this. You are far more powerful than you've been taught to believe, but that power doesn't activate on its own. You must choose it. You must claim it. You must live it. Don't walk through life with your head down anymore. Don't shrink yourself to fit into someone else's story. Don't ask for permission to be great. Stand tall. Move with clarity. Train with purpose. Think with power. Speak with honesty. And most of all, never ever underestimate yourself again, because the world will only believe in you once you believe in yourself. Now go, live like a warrior, flow like water, break your limits, and let the world feel your fire. This is your moment. Make it count.